This is Ron Klopfanstein, and you're in the hot seat on a Media Monday. Hey everyone, I'm Ron Klopfanstein, and you're in the hot seat on a Media Monday. We want to welcome everyone who's streaming the video of this broadcast on Facebook Live, as well as our audio streaming audience at 955theheat.com, and those of you listening to our broadcast on 95.5 FM The Heat. Tonight, we'll be hanging out with Gio Gump. He's host of Eat Local, and comedian Trippy Hippie. Also, Lily Christopher and I will take you to Westmoreland for the tour of my sister Heidi's famous Christmas Story-themed front yard. But first, our friends at Utica Royalties and Lazore Photography hosted a photography workshop on Saturday. Photojournalist and AI content producer Jim Hale and I were there, and we have this report. I'm Ron Klopfanstein in Utica, where photojournalist Brian Lazore is hosting a free photography workshop through Utica Royalties.
Any camera, cell phone or not, most people will walk up and take a straight-on picture. You know, or you might get his phone to say, hey, take a picture of me, and you're going to come up like this. That's what most people do. What I would do is I come at an angle.
Brian's work is so passionate, and he always captures the moment.
I spoke to Utica Royalties director Howard Peters about how Brian Lazore has helped our organization through the years. You've worked with Brian for quite a while now.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's amazing. He's dedicated his work to Utica Royalties. I mean, you see all these cool pictures and nice videos. That's because of Brian Lazore. He's part of the family, and he loves the youth. He has a big heart. So this is a really good workshop for the kids to learn and for anybody to learn. I'm hoping this is the beginning of something good, and then this is something that we continue to do.
For more information, both Utica Royalties and Lazore Photography are online and on Facebook. In Utica, I'm Ron Klopfanstein for 95.5 FM, The Heat. There was another great job for our friends at Utica Royalties and Lazore Photography. Gio Gump owns and operates Grown Locally Media, and he's a producer and the host of Eat Local, which is now in season 7 on YouTube. He joins us here in the studio now. Gio, welcome to the show.
Man, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, I was watching your show this afternoon. I watched it the weekend. So I have an oddball question here.
Okay.
What occurred to me as I watched your show, and I wonder about this, why do you think French fries are such a big part of our diet?
I'm not
They're
quite
so
sure,
good.
but
there's something about them, you know?
we all grow up, you know what I mean, eating fast food and eating potatoes, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They do marketing very well at these fast food chains. It makes kids want the French fries, chicken nuggets, French fries, chicken nuggets. So I think it's kind of instilled in us. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing. Like I don't think I can go like definitely not more than a week. Probably not more than like 3 days without some French fries on some level. McDonald's, Wendy's, you know, it's like there's so important. Maybe because I'm Irish, you know, like we survived the potato flight,
famine.
you know, we had to come over
absolutely.
to America and go to McDonald's and stuff. So tell me about your show. So what is Eat Local for those who haven't seen the show yet?
So Eat Local is based out of Utica, New York. We go around, we showcase all the hidden gems, maybe the spots that people may not know about, these mom and pop shops that have been around, maybe got taken over or bought just a few times, that are staples to our area. I always like to say, you know what I mean, these people are like family. You go in, you grow up. You see, you know, the little kids take over the counter and serving the food in the back now. So
generations.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we do is we showcase those places, but we have also went out to bigger spots as well, like in New York City and whatnot as well.
So a recent episode I just watched, one of the beaches.
Yep. Brand new episode that just came out. Yep.
Yeah. So like, what was the process of putting that together? How did you select it? And do you always work with the same co-host?
Yes, usually it's always the same co-host. We do sometimes have guests just come hang out with us. It's kind of like Gio Gump and friends, and it's always the Eat Local crew, which is based off of me, myself, Brody B, Frank Benji's, KB the Wing Guy, Steph and them on all the behind the music stuff, and you know, Liz, listeners, Liz been with us a lot too lately, so hopefully she becomes a mainstay. If not, you'll be definitely seeing her around from here on out.
Yeah, so this episode with the beaches. So, like, what is your process to make an episode? Because, like, I always tell people that, like, you can do this yourself, like with your phone, make a show, just put it on YouTube, you know, as you go, you get better at it, you know,
Absolutely,
as you go.
yeah.
But like, what's your process for making an episode of your show?
Well, so it did start off of our phones, you know, beforehand, and now we've grown into, like you said, the 7th season.
Yep.
Usually we go off of online. We ask people where they want to see, and then we create a list. Me and the team create a list. We kind of go down the list. We give people a call. We do 10 episodes a season, so we got 7 seasons. We're at 70 episodes. We try to 10 bookings, you know what I mean, for the season, and if not, we come up with some off the wall stuff. Like we're gonna be doing this Hot Ones challenge soon with the hot sauces and the chicken wings. Just oddball things that we come up with. Sometimes we cook, sometimes we host food pop-ups as well. Yeah, so we host food pop-ups. So it all depends on what's on the list and kind of, you know, time frame and whatnot, what we can make happen.
Right,
Yeah.
it's the logistics at times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So are you a cook?
Yes, I do like to think of myself as a cook. I like to cook.
What do you make? What's your specialties?
I don't really have too many specialties. If I had to just throw one out there, it's definitely the smoked chicken riggy wings that we definitely made famous from Eat Local. We smoke these chicken wings for 12 hours after we dry rub them, toss them around with some olive oil, and then we put malated chicken riggy sauce on top of them and serve it with a whipped ricotta dipping cheese on the side cup. So it's definitely different.
Impressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't even imagine what they must taste like.
Yeah. Everyone loves them. So hopefully next time you get to try them.
Yeah. So now Riggies, that is a Utica thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that something you grew up? Did you eat those as you grow up? Like, is that a popular thing for you?
Absolutely. Every party, you know what I mean? There's a couple tomato pie boxes. There's chicken riggies. There's meatballs, sausage, peppers. You know what I'm saying? Some bread.
What are the Utica foods?
I mean, basically everything I just named. You got upside down pizza. You got tomato pie. You got greens, chicken riggies. Those are pretty much what we're known for. Half Moon cookies, as a matter of fact, absolutely. So shout out Holland Farms.
I was gonna say, like, of those things, my favorite thing was the Half Moon cookies.
Half Moon cookies,
that's
yeah.
like my favorite Utica thing.
And that's how I grew up. Every party, you know, there's a couple boxes of tomato pie. Someone's got a pizza.
Yep.
You know.
Tomato pie is an interesting thing.
Absolutely.
You know, and I gotta say, that's one thing I do not understand. Because to me, tomato pie was like, just get a pizza. What is it? Why do people like tomato pie? Maybe you can defend it to me, because I've never been able to find somebody who can explain, like, why you would eat tomato pie instead of pizza.
I think it's hard to argue it from the standpoints when you do like it, because when someone doesn't know about it, okay, so it's kind of like pizza, but it's not pizza. It is baked. There's cheese on it, but it's not the cheese you're thinking of, and we serve it cold. So it's kind of like, how do you argue this? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
To people who don't understand it, you're not gonna understand it. You know. So.
I started thinking of tomato pie as like when ChatGPT was new. Like, you make a picture, like you'd have 6 fingers, like 3 eyes. I started thinking of tomato pie as like the ChatGPT version of pizza.
Oh,
like,
man.
Like, it's not exactly done right. Like, they started figuring out like the colors it should be and stuff. But anyways, I'm glad you defended it. Now, upside down pizza too. That's another thing. I just cannot get myself to ever eat upside down pizza.
What?
I just reject it.
What's happening here?
Do it right. Do it right. Put it. The cheese goes on top.
Listen,
So
I hear you.
Listen,
I hear you, boss. But when that sauce hits your tongue first on that thick boy pie,
Oh, so that's what it is. So
baked
it's like the
perfectly.
sauce first.
Oh yeah,
I
pecorino
see.
on top. And you know, it's not an upside down pizza without sausage, if you ask me.
Okay.
So I mean, Oskin Eats and Joe's does it well. Joe's is personally my favorite. Shout out Trios as well. But just the way they layer it, you know, some people like the I don't know, it's like lasagna of pizza. But
So you like to get that sauce first. That's like the big thing.
It's a different, you know, texture feeling, and also it hits different. You know, we're from Utica, man. How do we explain this? How do we explain it? It's upside down pizza. Try it out. Okay?
You know.
I know, right? Now, what's a Utica food that most people like that you maybe don't?
Say that again.
Like, what is your upside down pizza? Like, what's a Utica food that maybe people like, but that you just feel like you just don't get it? Like, what the appeal is with that stuff?
I guess you can say tripe, because it was big back in the day.
What is tripe?
Tripe. It's like,
I've heard it, but I don't know what that is.
I don't want to say what it is. It's like the belly liner of a pig.
Oh, I'll skip that too.
Yeah, and we tried it at Pelletary Joe's, and don't get me wrong, it's a mainstay staple for Italian Americans,
Really?
especially in Utica. And we tried it at Pelletary Joe's. It is just not for me. My buddy described it as meat gum. So I'm sorry to everybody who likes tripe, but that's what it does taste like.
No
meat gum.
idea that people actually eat
No
that.
diddy.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that too. Yeah. Now, what were some of your favorite foods at the beaches? Because I just watched that episode there. What were some of your favorite foods or drinks? Lots of fancy drinks too.
Yeah, so the bartender there, he did a great job at everything that he made. Literally, the old fashioned, the Manhattan, everything was really good.
Those looked amazing.
Liz really liked the espresso martini.
Yes.
The ossobuco was amazing. Everything they made, they had the burger there that was really good. And I mean, my favorite thing, and I think it's actually in the Eat Local Hall of Fame appetizers, is their spicy fried hot cheese curds.
That sounds good.
They were delicious.
I'd never heard of fried cheese curds.
Yeah, upper echelon of an appetizer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You mentioned that Thousand Island cheese. I really like that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. What makes a good meal?
Love, man. If you make it with love and you're making it with care.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you're going for, as long as you make it and you're actually caring about the ingredients that are going into it and how it's prepared and how it looks when it puts out, it's a good meal.
When you put it out, when you're planning like the perfect meal, imagine that. Like you put this out. What does it look like? What's the vibe like? What do you do to make it right?
Just fancy plating. Odd abstract of different parts of the plate. Different colors, different sauces, different ways of putting the sauce on the plate, and just where you put things, like a charcuterie board. When you go anywhere for a buffet, if it looks nice like that, you gotta make it look good. If you're putting it out for a perfect dinner, you know what I'm saying?
But
really to me,
matters.
A couple boxes of pizza with some wings open, that's also a perfect meal to me as well. When that's all opened up on the table, waiting for you to grab something,
Yeah. What are some of the other shows that you do? What are some of the other stuff that you do besides that show? Because you have a business, right?
Absolutely. So we run Grown Locally Media, which also owns the food show Eat Local. We have a cooking show which demonstrates how to cook, which is called Chopping It Up. We have a pro wrestling podcast called Hell in the Pod, the Culture of the Extreme Wrestling Podcast. Yes, sir. And we also...
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So you're into a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're also working on a new one. I'll mention it here. I haven't mentioned it out anywhere else, but it's called Master of My Craft. So.
And what's that going to be about?
It's going to be going to people, say someone who's like Leo at the train station, been cutting hair forever, master barber, historic spot, and just interviewing them on how they came up in this craft and became a master of it. And that's going to also be going on TV as well as a couple other shows that we're working on too.
Wow. So it sounds like you really like to celebrate quality work and craftsmanship.
100%, yeah.
Why?
And in our area.
Yeah. Like, why is it important to do that?
Because, this is where I grew up anyways, and I've known these people. I've gotten my haircut here, and you know what I mean? Now as that I get older and I realize these people are still doing this thing, and I'm learning from them from different aspects and business-wise, and it's always cool to give back a little bit. Now I have a platform and a way to produce them in a light that I feel like they should be heard.
Right.
So that's kind of why I do it, yeah.
One of the things that I get, from doing this show and from doing the stories that I do, is I do learn from the people that I interview. And I interview people who do a variety of things, not necessarily TV or being a teacher, things that I do, but and it's interesting how you can learn from the lessons of people's lives and apply it to your own life, even if they had a different life. What are some of the things that you've learned from your guests, or from people you talk to, their approaches to life or to work or to their craft, that you apply to your own life?
Well, I mean, out of all the people who I've met and learned from, it's kind of all the same things, just, especially in the positions that I meet them in today, they haven't stopped, they stay consistent.
Yeah.
You don't really take too much into consideration outside of the wall that you have the people in already.
Kind of staying in your lane?
In your lane, and just kind of with the people who have your best interests at heart. That's why you don't really see my team change too often or at all. You know what I mean? So just keep the same people around you. Make sure the eyes on the vision, and don't really change or give up. You just got to stay consistent and stay working at it if you really want it.
What do you think are the qualities that makes a good team member for your team, or the qualities that make somebody well suited to do media or entertainment, or to succeed in any field? Any field,
yeah. I was gonna say, because it's really not anything different. I'm sure, you know what I mean, this comedian over here, his respective peers and whatnot. Consistency, someone who, like I said, can hold you accountable, that has your best interests at heart, that really cares about the product that you're putting out, doesn't have no backdoor agenda on what they can get off of what's happening here. Being upfront and just being personable and straightforward. That's pretty much it. If you can't do that, then you can't be on any team. And my team is built up from people who I grew up with since I was 12 years old. My brother, who I've known, my whole life. life, and then some people came along the way.
What's your brother's name?
His name is Brody B. Brandon. He's our manager, producer too. So
cool.
Shout out him. And yeah, so like it's basically just a couple, 4 or 5 people, and it's all people I've grew up with or around, and really, like I said, are holding me accountable as well as me for them.
Yeah, is it fun to work with family?
Absolutely, we're laughing out there, having the best time, just having fun and also doing what we love. And we're with each other. We're experiencing things we never have before.
Yeah, that's really a great
and it's together, and it's because of this thing that we've built together. So it's really fun,
So when you guys were kids, did you like play making TV shows or?
Not at all, really.
No,
not at
really?
all. Nope.
Wow, so like you didn't plan to like do television shows?
No, not at all. I mean, I definitely was super into like TV shows and movies and whatnot. I still rewatch documentaries and movies over and over again.
Who inspires you? As a producer?
Oh, Chris Grasso, I would say. Grasso.
Why is that?
Growing up, he's built all the shows that I grew up watching.
What are those shows?
The Pizza Show, F That's Delicious with Action Bronson, Cooking with Maddie, and a bunch of other stuff even now that he's came out with recently. And it's just I've been a fan of basically my whole life, and now I'm actually talking to Chris Grasso and trying to make something happen now. So It's really cool.
What is about his work you think that really appeals to you, or about his approach to his career?
It's basically, it's who he is, and it doesn't like vary. It's not being no one else, and
consistency.
It's putting people in a light who are just themselves. Skateboarders, people who are in the chef world and cooking pizza, and it's just them. He's putting them on camera, giving them the lights and camera and editing, and just letting them do their thing, and it's worked.
It's a great feeling to give people who deserve it a platform.
Absolutely,
isn't it? Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about that later on in the show. Eat Local is now in season 7, and we're talking to the host and producer, Gio Gump. We have some special holiday shows coming up that I'd like to let you know about. On Christmas Day, Cassandra Harris Lockwood will host the Mohawk Valley Musical Christmas Card at 5 p.m. on WKTV, so tune in for that. And next week, on Hot Seat Media Monday, we'll have a New Year's Eve preview with Barry Sinnott from the Bank of Utica, and the fabulous, sexy Cleo Cupid from Cleo Cupid Productions. She'll be here to preview her show on New Year's Eve. That's Monday, December 29th, right here on 95.5 FM The Heat. I'm Ron Klopfanstein, and you're in the hot seat on a Media Monday. I'll have more after the break. Ron Klopfanstein, and you're in the hot seat on Media Monday. Hey everyone, welcome back to the hot seat on this Media Monday. I'm Ron Klopfanstein. Tonight, we're hanging out with Gio Gump, host of Eat Local, and comedian Trippy Hippie. But first, one of this area's favorite holiday attractions just happens to be in my sister Heidi's front yard in Westmoreland. If you're a fan of the nostalgic classic film, A Christmas Story, you don't want to miss this one. Lily Christopher and photojournalist and AI content producer Jim Hale and I went to check it out, and we have this report.
I'm Lily Christopher.
And I'm Ron Klopfanstein.
And we're at Stop 7 on Main Street in Westmoreland,
where my sister Heidi Nestved has created a Christmas story display on her front yard.
Okay, so we started with the sign, the Christmas story sign, and flick on the flagpole.
He's the one who stuck his tongue to the flagpole.
He's the one who stuck his tongue to the flagpole, something that my son or my nephew would have done for sure.
Would that really happen in real life?
That would definitely happen.
Like if I do this, try this.
That would be great like the next one that we added was Schwartz, the one who dared him to stick his tongue, who triple dog dared him. After that, we added Randy over here.
With Randy the snowsuit. He's the one who kept falling down.
He couldn't put his arms down. We knew we needed Ralphie, but it was hard to figure out how to make them look realistic. So a friend of mine from work, she started printing out the faces for me.
So they actually have the faces of the actors on the mannequins, and it looks really like the people themselves.
Yep, and then we go to thrift stores to try to find the clothes for them. Sometimes we have to order things off of eBay. So that brings us to Scott Farkas, the bully, and we ordered his jacket off eBay.
Where did you get the hat?
The hat we ordered off Amazon.
How perfect.
Yep. Yeah, he had his coonskin hat, so they had to be in there.
Yep.
He also had these signature gloves on, so we had to order some hand models for that. So they're made out of PVC pipe, most of them. Most of these. Flick is the only one that's an actual mannequin.
And how much work is it to put all this together?
So every year we keep them the way they are. We just cover them up to keep them nice, but we do have to build a new character each year, and they're built out of PVC pipe. So there's some time and effort that goes into that.
Wow. And how do you put the pipe together?
I do not do that part. Shane
My
does that.
brother-in-law Shane
Yes, he does that
takes care of
part.
that. Yes, yes.
Yeah, shout out to Shane with the PVC pipe that he glues all together, and then Beth Ann prints the face, and he puts it on the wood, and we glue it all together.
And look over here, somebody won a prize. It came from Italy too for Chile.
Right to Westmoreland.
Right.
So tell us a little bit. In the window, you have the famous lamp.
Yeah, so
Yes.
after we put Flick on the pole for my mom, she loved it so much that she bought me the leg lamp.
So Heidi, what made you decide the Christmas story? It's a beautiful display, but what made you, of all Christmas movies, gravitate towards collecting a Christmas story?
So when Ron and I were growing up, it was our mother's favorite movie, and we watched it every year with her. And so I started with just the one character, Flick, on the flagpole for a tribute to my mom, and everyone loved it so much that we added a character every year.
So what's the reaction been?
Oh my goodness! So when we're setting it up every year, people go by, they're honking, they're yelling out the window, they're waving. One year there was a detour down the road. We couldn't figure out why so many people were reacting so strong like the third year, but it's because a whole bunch of people that had never seen it before were seeing it for the first time. So it's great. It's great that it makes so many people happy. There's a lot of people from our town who ask me every year. There's people beeping
As we speak.
Yeah, as we speak. Every year people ask me what character's coming next, but a lot of them don't want to know. They ask, but they really don't want to know. They want to wait to see the surprise. So
You can see the display until New Year's Eve.
And it's on the corner of Main Street and Stop 7 Road. In Westmoreland, I'm Ron Klopfanstein
And I'm Lily Christopher.
for 95.5 FM, The Heat. This is Ron Klopfanstein. Meet me in the hot seat every Monday at 5 p.m. for Hot Seat Media Mondays on 95.5 FM, The Heat. Heidi Nestved's front yard Christmas display has become such a popular Westmoreland attraction that for the good of us in town, she wants to make it known that you can park in her driveway if you want to stop and see it so that you don't tie up the traffic at Stop 7 and Main Street, because some of us got to get to work and got to get here for our shows and stuff. So, and hey, you can stream that story starting at 9 p.m. tonight on my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, my other social media accounts, and then I'll have this entire episode online Wednesday at uticaphoenix.net/Media Monday. I also want to say on my sister's behalf that me and my sister both kind of hyper and OCD, so for her to leave Christmas decorations up until New Year's Eve is a tremendous sacrifice. I'm sure she's going to have the toe pins on the porch ready to go and get that cleaned up, but you got to go see that. So Stop 7 Road, Main Street, Westmoreland. You can see all the characters from the Christmas story. Lee, what did you think of the display? That was kind of neat, huh?
I loved it. It was just so original. Everything today is so trendy and looks the same. I never seen anything like it that's that original and just timeless. It was adorable.
It was nice. It's nice too because it's all of one thing, It's like all the movie, all the characters and stuff, So comedian Trippy Hippie is Stacy Bryan. He's here with us in the studio along with Christopher. Stacy, welcome to the show. What is your favorite Christmas film? We're happy to have you. What's your favorite Christmas film? So do you watch Die Hard for Christmas? I think it's a Christmas film. How about you?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I'm not a big Christmas guy.
Oh my gosh, I'm not really either.
I like
Die
Christmas,
Hard,
holidays, being around family, but movies and stuff. When I was younger, a lot, the classics. Christmas Story is my favorite.
Yeah. You gotta go see The Sing in Westmoreland.
Shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, right.
Love that line.
So comedian.
Yes, sir.
So you're doing shows with J-Watch. You're out there, helping raise money for good causes and stuff. And how long have you been into comedy?
I've been a comic for 2.5 years, going on 3. I started about 5 years ago, but just doing it sporadically. And I had some hiccups in life. I had to step away from that, but moving full speed ahead with it now. 'Tis the dream.
Good for you. Does comedy help you get through those hiccups in life? I imagine it does.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You know, just trying to be funny, make the light at everything. Love putting smiles on people's faces. I love coming up with a premise that I know something is there. I know something seriously funny is there, and not just it's not working, and finally being able to crack it. And that's like
to work through the writing of the
is
joke,
to me,
you know? It must be a satisfying thing to like really struggle and work through the challenge of the construction of a joke, and then to have it like to get it done right and to perform it and have the audience laugh.
Yeah.
Must be amazing.
Yeah.
So Lily, you look like Christmassy in your Christmas sweater there.
Yes, very excited.
So what are your plans for the holidays?
The holidays have always been very special, but staying home, just cooking some of our favorite dishes, watching some movies.
Mm-hmm.
I have, like The Christmas Story, many favorite movies. I love too many to choose, but like my top favorites are Home Alone.
Oh right, that's Christmas movie. Yep.
The Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe A Christmas Story, or actually A Christmas Story and A Christmas Carol are probably both tied.
Oh, so both of those, they make the top three then.
Yeah, top 3, top 4, but I just love with Christmas, it's the season of cheer. I love, like I joke, my love language is gifts, so I just love not getting gifts, but like giving gifts to people. Whether or not it's giving the family or me and my mom sometimes get baskets together for different charities. I just think
that's really
giving
nice.
is very important, and I just think that's the part of Christmas is helping others.
Yeah. How do you take that feeling, that spirit, and like make it into a comedy? Trippy Hippie, how do you do a comedy show at Christmas time? Like how do you craft your shows like around the season, or how do you do that?
Well, you know, I don't, like, I've been in Utica for a couple months now. I'm not from here, I'm from Rochester.
Interesting.
And I produce many a show, and it depends. Sometimes we'll have theme shows, and we usually would come up with some type of name for it just to have like a cool flyer and stuff, but it doesn't always have to be like a certain theme.
Yeah.
And it just depends on what is going around. I like to, depending on where I'm performing, try to write something local to the area to open up with, and you know.
Yeah. So, like, what is your act like?
I varied since I started. I started off telling a lot of stories, but I'm a big one-liner guy too. I like joke, and then try to weave that in with some cool stories in between that.
Yeah.
When you say one-liner, how do you, because I know with people who write like you have to come up with things very fast. How do you, what like prompts you, what gives you the ideas? Like what's your number one strategy you use
Like
when
my
you want
writing process?
Yes.
I'll usually, someone will just usually pop up in my head, and then I'll write it down, and like, if I'm not home or whatever, and then like when I get home, or when I have some time, I'll try to just write that out, and then try it on stage, see how it works, see how I need to get the timing down, and I always record it every time I perform so I can watch back, look at that, see how I can work on my timing, the delivery, if the joke's even working. If it's not, then we got to go back to the drawing board, you know. And then sometimes I'll have a thought, and I'll just try to take it on stage and riff and see where I can take it. You know, if I have trouble not deciding how I want to open it up. If I get an idea for a joke and I don't know how to open it up, then I just bring it to the stage and just see what happens.
Kind of workshop it.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do you who, like when you were growing up, like do you watch comedy shows, or were there things that you like Saturday Night Live type people, or sitcoms, or?
Yeah, I watched Saturday Night Live a little bit when I was younger.
I mean, some.
I've always been more into like straight stand up myself.
Yeah.
Like I remember back in the day, like Comedy Central Presents.
Oh right.
My dad used to let me stay up on Friday nights to watch that, and Premium Blend, and you know, all those comics back in the day. You know, Mark Norman, or not Mark Norman, he's newer, but like Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg is my favorite comedian.
Oh yeah.
Norm Macdonald. That's the name I was trying to look for.
Yeah.
Obviously, Seinfeld's a legend. Louis C.K.
Yeah.
You know, Dave
right.
Chappelle.
I kind of grew up in a time when a lot of the comedians became sitcom stars, and like they built sitcoms around them, like Roseanne, Great Under Fire, Bill Cosby Show, of course, Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Do you like have any dreams of like crafting a sitcom around your character, your persona? At some point?
Well, fortunately nowadays that's dead. That don't happen anymore.
Well, not fortunately. That's kind of unfortunately.
No, that's what I thought. I thought I said unfortunately. That's not what I meant. No.
It's like, geez, we can all use a laugh.
But that's what a career was back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Every single comic's goal on the planet was to do stand-up till you can get a sitcom.
Right. Carson
that was
Werner
the dream.
to come along,
stand up, get on Carson, or get on Late Night, David Letterman, and then get a sitcom. Yeah. That was the progress for everybody.
You know, nowadays, you don't really need someone to pick you. You can pick yourself and put yourself out there with social media. So how do you do that?
And that has its ups and downs, it's good and it's bad.
It does. I mean, you got to
now
manage
anybody can do it.
Right,
even if they're not good.
How are you doing it?
I mean, right now, you know, I just hit as many mics as I can. I'm always writing. I haven't been producing any of my own shows since I've been out here in Utica. I produce many back home. We have a home club out there, the Carlson. Try to get in there as much as I can. I perform there for different showcases and a roast battle once. And then before I came to Utica, I got booked for some auditions in New York City, and I moved out there. And that was great. That was going great. I loved it out there. Got callbacks for my auditions, and you know, I became homeless out there. And you know, turns out you can't pitch a tent in Central Park and think you're gonna live there.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't imagine it's in wintertime too. So it's probably like really meaningful to you to do some of your work at the Morrow Center, because you've done things with Jay Watch, right?
Oh yeah. Jay Watch, he's awesome, man. Shout out Jay Watch and Jay Watch Productions. He's given me a lot of stage time and opportunities out here. And you know, we're trying to get some stuff going out here. Me doing some stuff here, because I'll at least be out here for a couple more months, and I'm going back to New York once my apartment opens up out there.
Good for you.
And then so we're just going with the flow, man. There's not a lot going on out here for comedy. You know, there's not one comedy club. There's no straight comedy shows. Every single show I performed on out here was like a mixed mic or a mixed show.
Lots of grassroots, though, which is great.
Oh, but it's beautiful. There's such amazing talent out here. And shout out Chris Woods. He's like one of the best freestyle guitarists I've ever seen, man. Like, really, it's amazing. A lot of good talent out here. And that's not a shot towards like any of the mics. I enjoy it. It's fun. I just wish there was more, and I just wish there was more comedians out here and more of a scene, but you know.
Well, we're trying to promote that here at 95.5.
Yeah.
And I know you're about like living in New York, planning to come back or want to come back. In 20 years, where do you want to be with your stand-up comedy? Would you say like, what would in like 20 years from now? What point do you want to be at with your career?
Retired. I mean, you know, I don't ever see me stopping. This is the dream. Like, this is all I have. Yeah. And so
you're an artist.
We're just gonna keep pushing it, man. And I just want to eventually start hitting the road, headlining. You know, I know I got the talent. I know I still got work that needs to be done before I'm you know, a consistent hour-long performer, to where I can headline and hit the road everywhere.
Build up, you know.
Yeah. I've only been in a few years. It takes around 10 years to actually be doing anything relevant.
10,000 hours, they say, you know, to be good at stuff. So
I just trying to perform as much as I can and make the most of it while we're here and enjoy the little moments, you know.
Comedian Trippy Hippie is our guest today. He's here with Lily Christopher and I, and we'll talk more to him. And Gio Gump will join us after the break. We have some special holiday shows coming up that I'd like to let you know about. On Christmas Day, Cassandra Harris Lockwood will host the Mohawk Valley Christmas Card at 5 p.m. on WKTV on television. And next week on Hot Seat Media Monday, we'll have a special New Year's Eve preview with Barry Sinnott from the Bank of Utica and the fabulous Cleo Cupid from Cleo Cupid Productions. That's Monday, December 29th, right here on 95.5 FM The Heat. I'm Ron Klopfanstein, and you're in the hot seat on a Media Monday. More after the break. Yeah, whole Thursday thing.
Media Monday.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. We're hanging out with comedian Trippy Hippie, Stacey Bryan, and Gio Gump. He's the host of Eat Local, which is in its 7th season on YouTube. They're both here in the studio now. Hey, welcome back to the show. So,
Hey.
Trippy Hippie, Gio Gump. So, what do you guys have planned for shows or events or what's coming up?
First, right now the only thing I got going on out here as far as like a month repeated thing is the show with Jay Watch. Our next one is January 4th. Yeah.
Shout out Jay Watch too.
Yeah, I know.
Say that one more time. Your mic was off.
Your mic is on now. So tell us about the show.
So January 4th will be the next show with Jay Watch at I forget
Tomorrow,
the name.
right?
Yes,
Is
yes,
Warm
yes,
Center?
yep.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm in talks with a few businesses out here trying to get some mics and shows going.
Oh, neat.
Hopefully after the holidays, I'll have more information on that. Other than that, man, just performing as much as I can and be out here for at least a few more months till I go back to New York City.
I think that one thing that all of us have in common is that we really have to be our own producers. Like to be in this field, to do media or performance or anything at all, you have to be able to take care of yourself in terms of production. And that responsibility is kind of it's a burden, but it's also a good thing. I think. I'm really proud to be a producer, and I think that the work of producing a show is actually. It's hard, it's challenging, and I'm more proud of it in a way than actually hosting the show. So how do you guys feel about your roles as producers?
I think of it the same way. It makes it real, just more fulfilling, feels better knowing that, you also not only were on the camera or on the mic, but you wrote the questions, you helped dial in everything else, the cameras and whatnot. I think it also goes to show if something's your brainchild, that's how you help it grow, especially with, the people around you throwing in some thoughts and ideas as well.
Yeah, you kind of got to take care of yourself in many ways. I
Absolutely.
think, and be able to because the money's never going to be there for a crew. I doubt for me, for any of us, and it's really good though to be able to It's kind of amazing how much we can do with the technology nowadays to create our own shows, and what a great thing.
Absolutely, like you said earlier, just on your phone. You can start something. That's where I started, taking pizza reviews and stuff right off the phone. And now it's full-blown lighting and camera equipment, microphone, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's good just to take a shot at things and give things a try, When you go back to New York, do you have any plans for, what do you plan to do to your next steps?
I want to get more involved with this. I had my own podcast called The Minds of Mayhem. I recorded about 12 episodes, but I lost my co-host, and I'm just not good with editing, and I'm scared I'm going to ruin the video, so I haven't put anything out yet, and I want to make sure when I start putting it out that I'll be able to consistently have, because that's a big part of it, being consistent, you know what I mean?
It certainly is.
And it's not even about viewers or nothing like that, just having something that I'm doing productive, people could see other outside of having to pay a ticket to come watch me on stage, And
I think one of the things too is maybe Gio, you've experienced this too, is when you start to do a show or a new thing, it does it took for this show really several months before people paid attention to it at all. Except the people that were on the show, it's and it's just part of it. It's you have to keep going and plugging away, even though for a long time you really don't get any returns. And I sort of felt like this show picked up its momentum about 6 to 9 months in, but even when it didn't have it yet, I was I'm going to keep doing an episode after episode after episode, and I still do that now. Some are more popular than others and stuff, but it's I think it's you got to be in the game, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to stay consistent. You got to start somewhere and just keep stacking bricks on top of the foundation. That's it.
What gives you the perseverance or the grit to stay in the game when it's hard? I think, we all do, and people ask me this sometimes, because I teach 8th grade. The students ask me at times, what do you do, when you do, an episode of your podcast, and, 5 people listen, or none? And it's that's part of it. It's you put out what goes out there, and hope people get a little bit of it here, a little bit there, but keep, plugging away. What is it that, allows you guys to keep plugging away? Stacey, you've been through a lot of challenges, it sounds. What's kept you alive and doing your art?
I feel like this is what I'm meant to do. It's the only thing that feels right, and it's what keeps pushing me to want to live this life, to be honest. I messed my life up a lot. I was in prison for 10 years, so a lot of struggle there. And just, you know, I feel like that built me into who I am today, to give me to, like, I don't care what anybody thinks or about none of the nonsense or politics with comedy, entertainment, any of that. I just don't got time for it. And it's just, I just gotta straight eye focus.
Who
ahead.
are you today? Like, how would you describe yourself?
I feel like I'm a grown man today. I ran around my whole life acting like a child and trying to be somebody I wasn't. And it took me having to sit my butt down for those 10 years and really reflect on what did I want out of this life. Because, you know, I mean, I don't believe this is the only life, but that's neither here nor there. But this is what I have now, and I want to make the best of it. And I just want, you know, my family to be proud of me and me be able to produce something and do some things where people that care about me can look back and be like, man, look at that. He really did something with his life, you know?
Yeah, that's incredibly inspiring. And I would say you're doing that because you're out there doing your work and doing your act and stuff. What feedback have you gotten from, like, your friends and family about what you're doing?
Oh yeah, everybody loves it. Everybody believes in me. Everybody supports, that cares about me, you know. I don't have no downside there. They just want me to be stable, you know, and be able to, like, you know, support myself, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just not be like, they just want me out the streets and not being broke, and, like, so that's the only part of it that they worry about is like, how long is this gonna take to where you're gonna be okay.
It's a tough field. Now, I was a teacher in the prison for a year, so a little bit of understanding a bit about what it's like in that environment, and I wonder, like, I enjoyed the work, but it's a harsh environment, obviously.
Yeah.
How did you keep your sense of humor in that environment?
Oh, I mean, comedy. I mean, just trying to make jokes.
That's how we got through a sense of humor.
I was gonna say it must be
right
right
there.
Like I
that was probably the thing
That's
that
it.
like made you survive.
I've always wanted to be a comedian, and I've been doing comedy. Like I didn't do the whole 10 straight. I did 7 and 3, and then before I went in the second time is when I first actually started getting on
the
stage.
10 steps. Yep.
And then that's when I first got on stage, and then I went back to prison, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But even in there, I like stayed writing material, and like I would perform for people in there.
I was gonna say there would be like an audience there.
Yeah, it is. I made the best of it, man, and I feel like that's why, you know, I'm only not even 3 years in yet, like, straightforward, but, like, I feel like I'm 10 steps ahead of where I should be, you know what I mean? Because I have so much life experience, and, like...
Absolutely.
You know, I started this long ago than that. I wasn't taking it serious, consistent then, and I just feel like I have a little bit more boost behind me than someone maybe in my position that's just starting should.
Yeah,
you know? And
right. I went through a very hard time with my health. I actually didn't work for 14 years. I was so sick. I was kind of like in bed for 10 years. So I can relate to that. And like, I think that like the perspective that I have is to look at it with no regrets and think like, you know, I could have had 15 years of a career that I lost out on, but you know, maybe I'd still be where I am now. So it's like, I'm happy here. That's enough, you know? I think you gotta take look at life like every day is like, well, a new beginning. But like every day is like, whatever happened in the past, you can build on that, and you don't have to like go back and try to fix all that.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I just, you know, that's like the big thing that just tries to keep me focused is like...
Do you work that into your act, the prison?
I'm trying to. It's hard because like people tend to get offended real easy nowadays, and it's starting to get better. But it's just it's been a tough subject to breach to where I feel like I'm not making the crowd cringe, you know.
But I
have a few good ones. I got a few dingers in there.
Well, it's also gives you a unique angle, which I think is important with comedy or with any kind of performance too. Like it gives you not just a unique angle to make jokes, but a unique angle to give your audience insight in what it's like to be somebody else and experience things. You know, I think that's really important with any kind of work that we do, whether it's a comedy show or about food or about entertainment or like a serious news thing, really to like give people insight, you know?
Yeah.
Gio, do you feel like you do that with your food show? Because eating is who we are.
Absolutely, and I say it all the time. Our motto is everyone eats, because I mean, if there's one thing anybody is they're a food critic.
Universal.
Yeah, everybody eats, you know what I'm saying? So everyone's got an opinion on flavor and taste and whatnot. But yeah, it's great to dive in and get other minds on top of the subject as well. So
how do you deal with it when people have opinions on you? Or like taste about like how good your show was, or like, you know, because when you do work like this, we do get criticism at times. And
absolutely.
How do you manage that?
So I usually take it as just kind of a note, like a check system. You know what I mean? Is some of this info stuff that I could use?
Right.
You know what I mean? Is some of it, you know what I mean, BS, and I can disregard it? And that's kind of what you have to do in any of this people at this table's position.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Take what you can. If it will help, maybe your performance, or maybe my show and production, or maybe you, whatever.
Yeah,
you know, take it, you know, write it down, try to work it out. That's what I try to do with it. Yeah.
I think nowadays, too, we have to be able to distinguish between criticism that is constructive and well-intentioned, and criticism that is just like a troll.
Absolutely.
You know,
100%.
And that can be hard, you know.
Yeah.
Imagine with a comedian, like how do you deal with a heckler?
So, you know, I mean, it depends on the situation, honestly. I just try to keep joke, riffing off what they're saying. If they got an issue, and riff off them, put it back on them, and as nice as I can, without making the situation worse, hopefully. I haven't had really too many bad hecklers to where I felt like this show is ruined now, or like I need to, like, I've not been booed. Well, except for this last week, and I had a rough one, and I just got off stage. Just people started booing, you know. But it was just, that's the thing about out here is like none of these shows are built for comedy, you know. It's all mixed money. It's like music ruins comedy, you know. And not even trying to put it in a negative light. It's just, you know, comedy is a vibe, an energy that's separate from any other art form, and like it's a different mindset. It's a different place. It comes from a different place, and like, you know, people, when I said it earlier, like people get offended nowadays. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world that is push people's perspective different than things how were 20 years ago. But I feel like people need to realize at the same time that like all jokes come from the same place.
Right.
And what it boils down to is if it's funny or not. I feel like you can make a joke about anything or any topic as long as it's funny. But like, I don't know anyone that's a comedian that makes jokes because they want to hurt people. It don't come from it. A funny joke and maybe an offensive joke, they both come from the same place, trying to make you smile and laugh. Yeah. You know?
So how did you deal with the experience of being heckled? Like, what did you learn from that? Did you learn from that? Or did you will that impact your performance going forward, or your act?
Well, I mean, you know, and at the same time, unfortunately, I'm not in the place yet to where people are coming to see me, like, as far as, like, I'm not selling out clubs or nothing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
you're part of, like, an open mic lineup.
Yes. And, like, I've done some opening before and stuff like that, but, like, I'm not really in a place to where I can, like, kick somebody out of a show or nothing. Right. So I've learned to, like, riff with them. And just put it back on them and try to, like, get the crowd on my side.
Good for you. I was gonna say, like, that is the way to deal with that. I think, to like try to steer into that. And I also think too, at times, like, and it may not apply as much to your show, the food show, but like, I think discomfort at times, or that moment of like where you really don't know what the person's going to say, what you're going to say. I think that's a really effective and powerful thing. You know, sometimes when I ask people questions, like for a minute, they like don't know what to say, and like they have to really stop and think. And there's moments like when I listen to these podcasts or these recordings and stuff, like you hear a pause that like goes on a minute, a second more than you would expect. But there's something really beautiful and compelling in that. And I think you probably see that with your comedy. And maybe you see that too, like Gio, with like food. Like the moment of like you see the stuff, and the moment of like you want to let the audience know what it's like, that moment before you take the bite. You know? Is there something to that?
Absolutely. Just taking a moment, taking a breather, kind of taking it all in before you know, say what you got to say or say what's on your mind, thinking about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it can be hard at times to get your audience to stop and take the moment with you.
Absolutely.
And it must be really hard if you're doing it live on stage. And to take that moment of awkwardness or a pushback and to find some truth in that and to find something in that to like get the audience back. I mean, well done for you to like keep going through that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's like you can't really, and like if I was in a place where like a comedy city might be a little different, and like, but I can't be mad at anybody for not knowing how to behave at a comedy show when they've never been to a comedy show. Like, no one out here has really ever been, you know what I mean? They don't know really a lot about comedy. So I can't be mad at someone for getting upset and saying something when they don't know that they're not supposed to do that, especially when crowd work is such a big thing nowadays, and people, that's a lot of what people see online. So they think, oh, well, I can make myself part of the show, or like,
yeah, that kind of encourages people probably. But you know, good for you to like take those experiences and to keep going and to make your art, and good for you both to like be doing this and like to celebrate, you know, ideas and food and art and culture and stuff. It's like what we need to do right now. So we've been talking today to Gio Gump. He's a host of Eat Local, which is now in season 7 on YouTube, and comedian Trippy Hippie, who is Stacy Bryan. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll have this episode of Hot Seat Media Monday, streaming Wednesday at 9 p.m. at uticaphoenix.net/Media Monday. Our sound engineer is Jonathan Brooks. He's DJ Jay Easy, and he's up next with the Easy Ride Home. Jim Hale records the show for YouTube and podcast, and he's our AI content producer. Stefan Rubitsky, Nabil Khan, and Lily Christopher are our associate producers. And I'm your host, Ron Klopfanstein. I'll be back next week with another Hot Seat Media Monday.
Woo!